with that, I want to bring in law professor Danny Karon to chime in on the latest developments and what to expect ahead. Danny, thanks for being with us here. Not an easy job keeping up with Trump legal world, but we'll give it a we'll give it a shot. The latest,
no, it's not.
Yes, the latest big news in this case came yesterday. That's when a judge ruled that his trial, of course, will not happen before the election, which no one really expected. So that was not a big headline, just made things official. But we may get new evidence in the case between now and November the 5th, and essentially, Judge Chutkan in D.C. is trying to now reconfigure the case to comport with that Supreme Court ruling dealing with immunity, which will not be an easy task. More importantly, will not be a fast task. What strikes you as most compelling right now? Is it that new evidence we may hear before November, or is it the fact that they're trying to mold this case in a way that fits the recent ruling?
Right. Well, how about both? Now, Jack Smith has a lot of work on his hands, which is precisely why he sought and obtained that superseding indictment. Because you see, the Supreme Court ruling granted immunity from prosecution for certain acts, official acts done while president. And Jack Smith's original indictment was sprawling. It was large, and it included a lot of allegedly official acts, like discussions with DOJ officials, like discussions with Vice President Pence. So what Jack Smith did was to pare it down, to reshape the indictment within the contours of the Supreme Court's immunity ruling so that he emphasizes private acts, like discussions, for instance, with Trump's private lawyers. Now, this is the indictment that he presented to Judge Chutkan yesterday. And the judge said, listen, this is just a status conference. We're going to lay out some dates. It's just a two-page order listing some dates. One of which is by September 10, I want to see the facts to support these private allegations. And by September 26th, I want you to give me a brief or legal memorandum describing why, not just that, but why these fit within the contours of the Supreme Court's ruling. Trump's lawyers will respond, and she'll decide whether the case is going to proceed to trial.
Do you still think it is at least a partial win for Jack Smith that we may get new evidence in the case prior to the election, days before?
I don't know that it's a win. Oh, evidence days before. It's not a win so much for Smith as it is for Democrats, because it kind of sounds of or smacks of what happened in the 2016 election when James Comey came out with the emails in advance of the Trump-Clinton election. It derailed Hillary's efforts to win the presidency. This could have that same effect. It could be really days before the election, could affect swing voters and make them go blue rather than the possible outcome of her timing here. Because she said, I'm not concerned about the election. I'm concerned about a 4-count indictment. Is that the truth? Can't. Consequences could be drastic.